Hi everyone. Hope you're well and you're good. Well, last video, if you can click subscribe at the bottom here, and you will be able to see the previous videos. The previous video I spoke about 11 mistakes that women do in a relationship. Okay, so to balance that, I'm going to talk about 11 mistakes that us as men are doing in relationships. Okay, before I get into that, I'm sure you can see today I'm not dressed in my normal marriage affairs uniform. Well, I got dressed by I Am Adorned. You can check them out on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, they make beautiful stuff. Only if you could see me standing. This is just beautiful on another level. Anyway, let me get on with it. Now, there are a few mistakes that we would do as men, especially when it comes to relationships. One of them is that we don't bring presents to our women. Not a present as in a gift. No, we don't bring presents. In other words, we are there, but we are not there. We zone out while we are with them. And that's why you find a lot of women will be saying, Pastor X, I speak to him and he never listens. Why? Because we are there, but we are not there, So women need us as men to be physically available, mentally available, and even with our eyesight, we need to be able to give them that attention without being zoned out, looking around everywhere else, and so forth. The second thing that we do as men, and that makes us not to get the relationship thing right, is that we don't make an effort to know women. We always have that thing that women are the same. Well, we can argue that to a certain extent, but they might be cut from the same cloth, all right? But they are not the same, okay? They are not the same. So, for instance, this cloth, you can find a matching material, but the design that you see here is different. It's unique. This was made for me, and everything with it, one day you will see the full thing. It's designed specifically for my own style, and we're hoping that no one can duplicate that style. It speaks to who Pastor X is. All right. So we cannot treat women with a blanket approach and say they all love money. They all like to argue. They might be the same in certain ways, but definitely they are unique in the offering that they give. So we can't treat them the same way. The other thing that is a bit of a problem for us as men, that makes us not to be able to understand and to get them properly, is that we get to be intimidated by their success. Remember, a woman is in your life to be able to support you. They are in your life to be the driving force on where you are weak. Your woman is supposed to complement you, to balance you. You need to be compatible. Now, you cannot realize the compatibility between you if you are intimidated by their success, if you are intimidated by their views and opinions. And most men, they would rather have women not having an input or even any view, because sometimes as men, we are lazy to think. Let's be honest, guys. We are lazy to think, and women think, all right? That's why sometimes that thinking can be overwhelming, because they think about a lot of things all at once. They are here, they are there. As men, we like to think, if we do think at all, we think about one thing at a time. So now it can be intimidating because I'll be thinking one thing and then she comes with all these good ideas. And for a weak man, it's easy to be intimidated by that. All right. So it becomes a little bit of a problem. And then problem number 4 that we do in relationships is that we don't prioritize. And most men, you know, are a victim of this. We don't prioritize our women. Women in our lives, we don't prioritize. Even when we have kids, let's say you find a man who's got a boy and a child. Somehow, most men, not all of them, most men tend to feel that they need to pay more attention to the boy. And the woman will pay attention to the girl. That's why we get it wrong, even from when they are still young. We don't give them attention. And then that neglect, we grow with it. We grow with it. Remember, if you are a son and all you know is you just been sent to your dad all the time, and now you are old, you don't know how to nurture, and you don't understand how a woman should be nurtured. And then that becomes a little bit of a problem in everything. So we don't prioritize our women. We'd rather watch TV. We'd rather go out with the boys. We'd rather do all these other things that are not really helping out in what a woman needs. And as a result, if you don't prioritize your woman, you will never know what makes her to feel good, what works for her and what doesn't work for her. So it is important that in everything, if you're saying I'm in a relationship, you need to be able to prioritize your women. And then the 5th thing that we do, we neglect their feelings. Okay. And I know, guys, on this one, I'm with you. Sometimes you ask a woman, are you okay? And she says yes. And you can see she's not okay. It's difficult now. You don't know whether she needs space or is this the part where you just take what she says and you leave her. But you need to be able to know your woman very well. Remember what I said on point number 2, we don't take time to understand them. You need to know her very well. When she says, yes, I'm okay, you know that she's not okay. Then go to something else. Do something to make sure that you make her life easier. I promise you, the more you make her life easier, is the more she will make you happy. So you can't take her feelings for granted. You can't take, her thoughts and what she goes through for granted. Sometimes, because we are strong as men, we expect these women to be strong like us. If you come back and at work you had a very difficult day and you know what, you suck it up, you take it like a man. And we expect the same approach from women, and we expect them to be strong and to take it like a man while they are not men. Okay. So that becomes a problem when we neglect their feelings and we take them for granted. And then the problem number 6 is that we tend to expect them to fix things while we want to fix our mistakes our own way. Why is it a mistake? Okay. Why is she hurt? She's hurt because of something that you have done. All right. So if you have wronged her, you cannot fix things your way. She's the one who is wronged. So you need to understand and know how she expects you to fix things that you have done wrong. Okay. Let's make an example. Let's say you were flirting with your ex. All right. And you feel, there was nothing to it. And she takes serious offense to it. Now, you cannot just decide, okay, this is how I'm going to handle it. This is how I'm going to solve this problem. You need to find out from her, you know what, baby, I've wronged you. How can I make it better? How do I make you feel better from what you are going through? You can't just say, no, I'm going to delete her or I'm not going to talk to her anymore. You haven't taken her feelings into account, point before this one. So you can't fix things and your mistakes and your wrongs your way. You need to fix them her way. That is the only way. You see, that's why most women, they take time to heal and they keep bringing things from the past because you have fixed them your way, it means that it was not about her. But if you can fix things her way and she's still grumbling and being beefy, then she is the problem. All right? So you get that. So you can't fix things your way. You are too wishy-washy. You are too wishy-washy. That's my point. Next point, point number 7. You are too wishy-washy in your dealings with your woman. All right? You are here, you are there. You know, like there's nothing concrete about you, meaning that you are not giving direction, you are not leading. And the minute a woman doesn't know what is happening, doesn't know what tomorrow holds, doesn't know if in 5 years I'll still be in this relationship, will this relationship still be okay, be working? Like, I promise you, she becomes very restless. They panic and they make us to feel hell. But if you can be able to make her understand where you stand, where you're going, where's the relationship heading to, she needs to know in the next 10 years, you share your dreams, you share your plans for 10 years. It gives security. Imagine you are in a job and it's a day-to-day job. Tomorrow you don't know if you've got a job or not. But if they give you a contract and say, listen, this contract is for 20 years. You are employed here. Should you want to leave, you can leave. However, should we decide we don't want you anymore, we'll still pay you for the 20 years. That gives so much security. You apply yourself differently. You apply yourself relevantly in that situation because you know what? You know what is happening and you know how to apply yourself in that. The problem, number 8, is that you are too self-absorbed. It's all about you, you know, even during sex. Sexually, it's about you. When you are satisfied, and then that's it. Kuphelile, hufedile, finito. You know, it's all about you. When you can do certain things, but all of a sudden she is not allowed or she can't do the very same things that you are doing. You are selfish, too self-absorbed to even realize, you know, the things that she's going through, the things that are affecting her, the things that are just making her to resent the relationship and to resent you. All right? It's sinking. Okay? Here's a few other points, last 3. And then you neglect your role to lead. Leadership is your responsibility in a relationship. I don't care if she's earning more. I don't care if she's older than you. I don't care. You are a leader in that household. You need to give guidance. You need to give direction. Women will only lead. Women will only force their way in leadership in a relationship when you neglect your role. You need to lead. Sometimes we get intimidated to a point where we withdraw. Sometimes we just maybe, you know, let things slide. I'm like, no, I want to help her to also lead. Leading doesn't mean that you don't outsource her ability and her skills to help you in leading. But you need to give the direction, the vision of that family, the direction the family is going to. You need to take charge and responsibility to that. And then point number 10, you don't want to grow up. Biggest problem for most men. You don't want to grow up. You are stuck in a body of a man while you are still a boy. What am I saying? You know, this is one thing that I never understand. A man who would sulk at his wife for more than a day. Grow up. You need to grow up. You need to know that it's just not about you. Get over yourself. Grow up. Men don't do that. When are you going to lead if you are busy sulking at a woman? If a woman is doing something, you sit her down, you talk to her, you show her the way, you guide, you give direction, you make her understand how what she has done makes you feel. You don't just sit there and then no, that's childish. You need to grow up. So you cannot do things that boys do. It's a small boy who's doing that. I'll go to my room and sit in my room. You need to grow up. Because the longer you take to sulk, the more the ice thickens up. It gets thicker and thicker and thicker. And I promise you, what you could have resolved in a day, now after 3 days, it's even harder to resolve. Okay? And then the last one, you are not doing anything enough to make her to trust you. You say, no, this woman doesn't trust me. What is it that you are doing? Number 2, what did you do in the past that made her not to trust you to begin with? You know, trust is something that is earned and trust is taken away. There's something that you did that got her to a point where she's not trusting you. Then it means, Oguti, you need to work double to make sure that she trusts you again. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that has helped you. Make sure that you contact us for anything, queries to book an appointment for counseling, premarital or postmarital counseling on our WhatsApp line 08333173350. Alternatively, you can follow us on Facebook, Marriage Affairs with Pastor X, Marriage Affairs on Instagram, or remember, you can click here at the bottom, that line that says subscribe, and you can be able to get most of our videos. God bless you and have a blessed time.